Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk about Serwa Boateng's Guide to Witchcraft and Mayhem, which is a sequel to Serwa Boateng's Guide to Vampire Hunting, which was released last year. It's full of Serwa, who has been a hunter her whole life. Her family is like a family of hunters that hunt mythical creatures, among them vampires. So it is based upon Ghanaian mythology. And then we have, as I said, her family being hunters. They go from place to place all her life. But then her parents are suddenly going on this really dangerous hunt. So she's left with her aunt and her cousin, and she starts to school and makes friends for the first time. The first book is very much like found family kind of aspects to it, even though she has a loving family, but I mean like found a new family, and she realizes there's threats where she is like left from her parents and she can't contact them. This is in the first book, and now we have the second book, which is definitely consequences of what happens in the end of the first one, which is one of the craziest and insane and shocking endings I ever read. I absolutely loved it and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So in this one you definitely expect very like crazy things happening, and it starts so differently from what I thought would happen. I'm not saying that necessarily this is a terrible thing, it was just very like off-putting because I had like this mind-blowing scenes in my mind and then we were just like chilling and I was like okay, which I think is very well done by the author. I was just very off-put by it. I also thought that it was for some reason a duology because on Goodreads etc. it's only like 2 books. I thought the story would actually end here, and now it seems like there will be a third book, or at least maybe more. Maybe it's a 5-book series for all I know at this point, and I'm not complaining. I love this world, I love these characters, I love the humoristic and fun, just adventurous middle grade vibes from the whole series. So I love that, but I didn't know that it would be more. So I thought that we would end the adventure here, and I was just so off-put by the pacing of the story because I was like, literally, how are we gonna wrap up the things here? And we didn't, and it definitely needs to come more, but I was so off-put by it because I didn't expect it to not end here. But I absolutely recommend the series. Seriously, it is one of the most fun things I read, with very actually like complex and deep characters that I have enjoyed so much. And just like seeing the different sides, the developments, the insecurities, the building on ripping away of trust, even like the family and just the issues they had with like I was gonna say constitutions they work for, because there are hunters in this organization, and how the past comes back to hunt this organization, or threats that has been there in the past, and how our main character is unraveling these secrets and finding out stuff about her world that she thought she knew really well and apparently she didn't. And again, making friends, trusting them trusting her, and crushes, and just so many good parts. The only thing that put me off of this book actually was literally just that I didn't know it was gonna be more, which made me so confused throughout the whole book. And again, that is on me, which is fine. I just also felt like the beginning was a bit slow. We used a long time on this certain thing to establish this new character, which I loved when I think about it now, but I was just like, what? Why? We used such a long time. It is for us to care about this character, because this character is definitely gonna have a bigger role going forward, and we didn't know this character. Now we got to know them really well, and I get it now, but at the time I was like, what? It's been there for 200 pages and like there's like 70 pages left, because it is a short book. It's like 271 pages, and I was like, didn't understand. So like I guess that affected my reading experience a bit, I would say negatively, but not in a way that ruined the enjoyment of all of the story. It's just, again, it's a review. I need to talk about the experience I had. As I said, I absolutely loved getting to know other people. I loved seeing the developments. The ending once again gripped me to my core. I don't know how the author does it every time, but she knows how to keep you on your toes and want to read more. It was so great. I was sitting there like, what? And then we had one reveal happening, we had another reveal happening, and then a last reveal happening, and I was just like, Serwa is in trouble for the next book, and I cannot wait to see what she will come up with and how we're gonna solve this and how we're gonna do this upcoming thing that is happening. And I just cannot wait. It's honestly such a fun series. I would probably rank it like as a second favorite in all of the Rick Reiner Presents one that I read. And I just cannot wait to read more of this journey. Honestly, so much fun. I need more people to read it and talk about it, honestly, because I feel like I haven't seen that many do that. Everything I would want in a middle grade, everything I would want this kind of story. I just love, again, the questing, the adventureness, and everything like that. There's one more complaint I had, whereas in the book, we did this decision in the end that made other things happen. And then we were kind of afterwards like shocked that this happened. And I was like, what did we think were gonna happen? I get that our main character, like, she didn't know completely what she was doing. She just knew she had to do this thing. But I was like, but why are we doing this thing again? Then she did it, and shit happened, and I was like, well, again, what did you think was gonna happen? So I thought that we were a bit stupid, and I'm trying to like justify it with being like, well, she didn't know what to do, she just had to do this, but I'm also like, but it was also just very stupid, and we could have avoided that whole situation if, first of all, other people had been more honest from the begin with, but also just, I don't know, don't go out and do stupid shit alone. That's what I got to say. So on one hand, that was a bit annoying because I didn't 100% get that part. But we need more action for the upcoming books, so I'm fine with it. I can't really say what it is because it's a spoiler, and it's not like it ruins the whole series or anything. It makes the series interesting, and she definitely like needs to think about this. But I feel like even afterwards, she didn't even like consider that maybe that was her fault. She blamed herself for other things, but it never occurred to her like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And I was waiting for that thought to arrive, and it never came. And I'm hopeful I will see that thought in the next book, because for me, I feel like, I'm not saying it's all her fault, by the way, I'm never saying that, but you at the same time need the main character to realize that, oh, they should not have done this, even though of course it's not 100% her fault, because she has been manipulated right and left and don't know who or what to trust, because honestly, people have been lying to her all her life. So I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, I was sitting here like, why are we doing this? This seems stupid. Also, I just realized there was another thing that happened. We went to a place and we made a deal. That's all I got to say. And I'm like, because I thought the answer for this deal was very obvious. But then again, we didn't end the story, so I don't know where that's gonna go. But yeah, I want a 5-book series now, because we have a lot to explore. We have a lot of trust to build, a lot of characters to develop, and a lot of story to develop. Like, I honestly love it so much. I was just off-putted by the fact that it is not a duology. It could have been a duology. I could see it in my mind's eye. But the fact that we are building now this story that now is going into like a 5-book series, I'm just saying 5 because that is what Percy Jackson is, and that is what Arisha is, and I'm taking it. At least like a trilogy or quartet, that's what I'm saying. And I just, now that I think about the first book, how it's built in a way that we care so much about these people and how this world is revealed to us, and then this just building more upon it, it's done so well. And honestly, I love it much more than I think I am expressing. I'm actually like really keen to reread the first one. It has some of my favorite tropes. And while I felt like that the tropes I really loved in the first one was a bit sidelined in this, I am still waiting to like get that feeling again when it all comes together. I feel like that is my thoughts for this book. It is being released on the 12th of September, which has already been when you're watching this. Please pick up this series. It is honestly so much fun. I love the characters, I love the mythology, I love how they're written, and I think a lot of kids and people who just in general enjoy middle grade like me would love it. I would recommend it with all my heart, and I'm giving it a very strong 4 out of 5 stars. Not a 5-star this time around, but a very strong 4-star, and I think the series has potential to be 5-star when we develop more. I'm actually now super hyped that we're getting more. Yeah, that's all I got to say this time around. I hope you enjoyed this little review. Leave a crocodile emoji down below if you enjoyed this, and you should see me soon in a new one. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.